So Jaguar Wright went to what's it called? The Real Life Productions and did this interview that kicked off some settled dust, and now people are angry. So I got this next clip from Sean Deviway and Willie D.
Let's pull up what she said about Christopher Williams. Now, Christopher Williams is a singer from the late 80s, early 90s. He had a few different hits, and he was also in movies, soundtracks, New Jack City, all type of stuff. So shout out to Christopher Williams. Or was he just on the soundtrack? No, I believe he was in the movie. Yeah, he was in the movie. So she came forward and said that allegedly Christopher Williams gave Diddy fellatio for a job, for a record contract or whatever lie, she was creating at that point in time.
So for context, what Sean Deviway is talking about is this interview here, as you see in the picture, that Jaguar and oh my god, what's his name? Gene Deal did on Real Life Productions, talking about this story that involves Christopher Williams. And later on, I'm going to be playing the next clip that Christopher Williams did an interview with Willie D. And Willie D did the interview with Cat Williams and a whole bunch of other celebrities. And actually his content is really, really good. You guys should check him out. So this is what Sean Deviway right now is talking about in reference to. And I think this interview might have put a little bit of fear in Jack. You see why later on. But honestly, I think Gene Deal was trying to protect Jack by not calling her out on this lie. And I think by him doing so, not wanting to call her out in front of the camera, also kind of like came back and bit him in a behind, because now after seeing this, Christopher Williams now has a huge issue with Gene Deal. The whole thing is a mess, you guys.
So let's just hear and then we'll go from there.
I think it was like 03. Yeah, it was right before me and Music Soul Child did the Grey Goose tour. There was a young woman, beautiful woman. She's a lawyer, or at least she was. She used to be an entertainment lawyer. I'm not going to say her name. The story is enough, because I don't know. I hope I won't be putting her in danger. But she shouldn't have to feel afraid after all of these years, almost 20 years, But I had to give her a job. I shouldn't say I had to give her a job. I gave her a job. Working for me so she could find some safety, because while she was working at Bad Boy, because she was one of the lead counsels for Bad Boy Entertainment, she witnessed something. She witnessed something that was disturbing to her. But what was really disturbing to her was the conversation that she had with Diddy after. See, Christopher Williams, I don't know, I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal, and I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young...
And just to confirm, Chris said it's a lie.
Then to get approval on some paperwork. See? And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing fellatio on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, they didn't stop. She just walked out, and she just kept her head down at the office the rest of the day, I believe it was. And I don't think it was at the end of business day that day, but I think it was the following day. He came into her office and was like, yeah, so you came in there. So what? What you gonna do? You want to say something? And she was like, oh, no, she was like, I just don't understand why you left the door unlocked. If you were in there doing that, why would you leave the door unlocked? He said, I'll do whatever I want to do in my building. And I just don't know. He was like, it's power, see. I can make a man, he said, if I can make a man suck my dick, I can make people do anything for money.
So that's a pretty big accusation. I mean, we know Diddy, he's a scumbag, but on big accusation on Christopher Williams' behalf, because as you're gonna hear on Christopher Williams' rebuttal on Willie D's channel, he is saying what Jax is talking about is nonsense and a lie, because he had his record deal since late 80s. So what she's talking about basically is a flat out lie. Why would he need a record deal when he already had a record deal and his music was already out, to the public? Why would he even need to do such a thing? So that's what the whole fighting is about.
Out. But the same thing with I'll Be Sure. Like, I didn't answer what you said, and I want to do that. One person in the world alleges that I gave Puffy fellatio to get a record deal in like 92. I came out in 89. I had a record deal in 88. And anybody who knows me knows that is ridiculous. And it's not the homosexual act that's the ridiculous part, because we're in the music business. Anybody, that's a person's choice. But I've lived my life totally, again, if I were gay, I would be openly gay. So again, that wasn't even the emphasis of it. It was the other stuff that was said around it, because again, now she's going on and on and on and on and on like she's sure. And what I'm trying to say is, like, I have friends who are just coming out the feds right now from when I first released the record, who would like to do nothing more than to show her who the fuck I really am. Like, for real, for real. But I'm like, bro, she's hurting. I'm praying for her. Because we got to make a different stand and a different choice at this time. If I'm really solid, how can what she say affect me?
You know what, man? Now, you just got a couple of extra human points from me. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, if somebody out there lying on me like that, bro, I ain't praying. If I pray for him, it's going to be the kind of prayer like, Lord, I pray this motherfucker go play in traffic blindfolded, in Houston rush hour traffic. Like, get him. It's going to be that type of prayer. Like,
now, you heard what Christopher said right there. Chris, that sounded like a threat to me, my dear. But I think after watching this interview, honestly, I think it scared Jag, because I have never, ever, watching any of our previous interviews or live stream, never has she ever used the word allegedly. Maybe she did, but not as often as the latest streams that she's been using it. So basically right now, Christopher Williams and Gene Deal are now beefing. They're going back and forth and back and forth. It's crazy. All because of this interview. And I think I kind of sympathize with Gene Deal. I think he was also sympathizing with Jaguar Wright. Instead of correcting her, he kind of like stayed quiet on what Jaguar Wright was when she was speaking about Christopher Williams. I think he was trying to be courteous, but ended up coming back and biting him in the booty. Now, with the real life productions, I don't understand how they are letting this woman be homeless and not really trying to help her out. Let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean is, they keep on saying that they and Jaguar are business partners. Clearly, they are not. People like Gene Deal that they brought in for this interview, they paid him $8,000 for the interview. Jaguar probably got a couple of $100. What kind of business partnership is that? And Jaguar Wright has a YouTube channel. I don't understand, like, if you really want to help her out, why are you not advising her to do all of this or some of the interviews on her channel to bring more traffic to her channel, because people will go to her channel and listen to her. A lot of people do want to hear what she has to say. Like, I don't understand why they don't encourage her to put some of this content on her channel, which will also in turn help her bring in money. And my point of view is they don't want to do that, because then she'll be taking all the money that they will be making on the channel without her. And I also think that this business model, especially for them, is flawed. And Jaguar Wright just needs the right person on her ear. You know, like, hey, pay attention, more attention to your channel. Put all this content in your channel and bring yourself revenue like that way. And I feel like they are deterring her from doing that. And they know they're not dealing with a mental well-being person. And honestly, they are using her all the way. That's why people are so upset with them. They're not doing anything for her benefit or anything to help her care for herself. That's basically where I was trying to get at with this one. Sorry for the rambling. But I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. If you want to watch the full interview, go to Willie D's channel and go to Real Life Productions channel and the Sean Davy Way show. And I don't know if I mentioned it. Gene Deal used to be a bodyguard for P. Diddy for many, many years. That's how he came into play with the whole conversation.